So, even though Colorado is blue, there's pockets of red throughout the state. Like in the 3rd District of Colorado. In the 3rd District of Colorado, the entire western side of the state is represented. That's the biggest land. If you look at all the districts, the 3rd District of Colorado is the biggest district in terms of land, because it's the entire western side of the state, and then a little bit like, you know, it comes over and gets Pueblo. So, yeah, the 3rd District of Colorado looks to be the biggest district in terms of land in Colorado, and apparently it's red. It went, Scott Tipton is the one that used to have it. Scott Tipton was in there for 2-3 different terms, and Lauren Boebert beat Scott Tipton, which is something Diane Bush could not do. That should show you the Democrats are going to choose a loser who couldn't beat the former Republican representative. Lauren Boebert beat the former rep in the primary, and then she beat Diane Bush. And it's actually no surprises there at all. Lauren Boebert beat Diane Bush. Lauren Boebert now represents the 3rd District of Colorado. Now we have a Candace Owens in whiteface. We have a right-wing, we have another Sarah Palin. We have a right-wing AOC. So Lauren Boebert beats Diane Bush. Right? Diane Bush, Miss two-time loser. She lost against Scott Tipton. Now she lost against Lauren Boebert. She ran a terrible campaign. She was shitty to anybody that wanted to talk to her. Diane Bush ran a William Howard Taft kind of campaign where she just sat in her carriage and let the people come to her because she's a professor, right? So therefore she has all the knowledge, whereas Lauren Boebert went out and got it. She went out and got it. Now, Lauren Boebert probably has got Roger Ailes', you know, dark money in her pocket, so that I'm sure that helps. Diane Bush ran to the right. Immediately, she started saying she's not for the Green New Deal, right, throwing AOC under the bus, so they both are against Medicare for all. They're both, Lauren Boebert and Diane Bush was against the Green New Deal. And in fact, you know, whereas Diane Bush cared about the environment, Lauren Bush don't give no fucks about the environment. She don't give a fuck about the environment whatsoever. ever. But when it came out of the, you know, Diane Bush's campaign, I didn't hear any exciting progressive ideas at all. How many millions did Diane Bush have at her disposal? Diane Bush just kept on saying how she, you know, bring the nation together by compromising with the Republicans. Before she even sat foot in D.C., she's already compromised herself before she goes into D.C. She sends these mailers talking about how Lauren Boebert isn't going to compromise with anything. She made Lauren Boebert look better than what Boebert was doing herself. And what's particularly frustrating is that Diane Bush helped bring about the legalization of marijuana. She passed a lot of she did a lot of decent progressive legislation in her career as a state rep in Colorado. But either she doesn't know that, maybe she doesn't understand that she's, you know, compared to like Alabama, she's super progressive as fuck. But she sold her progressive soul to the Republican devils a long time ago. So Lauren Boebert doesn't represent me. Lauren Boebert, she's an anti-vaxxer. She wants to get rid of the Department of Education. She goes on and on about how the Electoral College is wonderful, but the Electoral College, the point is to overthrow, you know, a demagogue. So whether it doesn't matter who actually gets in there, the whole point of the Electoral College is to overthrow the demagogue. And I don't think she knows that constitutionally. So, let's see. Lauren Boebert, here's a tweet for Lauren Boebert. My opponent is against everything good for this country. That's a pretty bold statement right there. Oh, and my opponent, right? So she doesn't refer to Diane Bush by name. But Diane Bush is against everything good in this country. That's too much. That can't be true at all whatsoever, right? So why does Lauren Boebert think that Diane Bush is the Antichrist? Let's look at her reasoning, right? This is a tweet. This is the crap that we're going to deal with. My opponent is against everything good for this country. Oh, okay, why do you say that, Lauren Boebert? Well, Diane Bush is a liberal college professor, and she's going to bring that mentality straight to Congress. And we desperately need to stop her, and I'm ready to stop her, but I can't do it without you, so donate today. Education is good, okay? I don't even know what the fuck any of that shit even means. She's against everything good in this country because she's a professor? She's, you know, that's a job, so it doesn't matter. So Lauren Boebert, she's got some intelligence behind her campaign. I just can't believe that, you know, it's her. She acts like stupid white trash. I'm from Kentucky. I'm familiar with dumb, dingy, ditzy, white assholes who don't give a fuck about anybody else. I'm familiar with them. You talk about privilege. This is where all the privilege, white privilege is being wasted on people like Lauren Boebert. So in order to become president, you have to be 35 years of age and you got to be a citizen. Now, Lauren Boebert is sitting there saying that the Electoral College decides the presidential elections. But even though she's right about that, she doesn't know that the actual election is on December 14th. The Electoral College, it's not the proportional, it's not the map, it's not the November, it's December 14th. And the Electoral College on December 14th can go either way. It could go for Doe, it could go for Joe, or it could go Brand, in fact, anybody, Spotted Eagle, or Paul Rudd, Sacha Baron Cohen, anybody can win the presidency right now in America after, this election with the Electoral College. If they nominate Sacha Baron Cohen, if somebody votes, somebody in the Electoral College, somebody from the 538 people vote for Sacha Baron Cohen, then Sacha Baron Cohen, well, he's not an American citizen. So Paul Rudd or, Spotted Eagle. So who's winning the presidential election right now? Nobody. The December 14th, we got to wait. So Electoral College voters can vote for whoever they want. They don't have to vote for their state's candidate or the other duopoly guy. They can vote for anybody. So Lauren Boebert doesn't know that. So I know the Constitution better than Lauren Boebert, and I understand the Electoral College, and she's in favor of the thing. It's against democracy, so she just won all these votes, and now if the Electoral College took it away from her, I bet you she had protested against it. Now here's some more tweets. Lauren Boebert says, so all this planning on rioting, remember you can burn down all the Best Buy stores you want, but that doesn't get rid of Hunter's laptop. I don't think she wrote that joke, and it's a stupid joke. Who gives a shit about Hunter's, laptop? And you're sitting there making it sound like, oh, you're burning down the Best Buy stores, okay? Because that's what, Democrats are. They're the ones that pick Joe Biden, who's a moderate Republican. He's a right-wing. So to sit there and say, they're the ones that are for rioting? Donald almost got impeached for looking for dirt from Ukraine on Joe Biden. The Biden crime family. There's only a couple of Bidens, and he's, like he's the Gambinos or the Pavarottis or what have you. Now, I want to ask Lauren Boebert, what does she know about the struggle? What does she know about the working class? Freedom wins. Thank you so much. This is a great victory for freedom and prosperity. Plus, I had the honor of being the first mom to represent the 3rd District of Colorado. It doesn't get better than that. So, yeah. God bless. God shit all over America. Well, God bless America, right? There's some meaningless gibberish. Hey, God bless you, too. So what does Lauren Boebert know about the struggle? What does she know about the struggle? She goes on and on about that whole freedom thing. Oh, freedom wins. It's a great victory for freedom. I think we're more free if we have free education, free health care, and free child care. I believe in social spending. When it comes to actual freedom, it's not, freedom for the wealthy to, run roughshod, freedom for the oligarchs, freedom for who, and what freedom? What specific freedoms are you fighting for? The Second Amendment, is that what you're talking about? Because, I agree with Lauren Boebert on the Second Amendment. She will protect the Second Amendment. But I just don't believe she understands the struggle. I don't believe she understands, what it takes, because the struggle makes it harder, and you don't want to make it harder for everybody out here. You want to make it easier. And the government is supposed to help us. If the government isn't helping us, then what is the point of government? Why do we even have a damn government? So I don't think she understands the struggle, and I don't even know if she's ever had to endure actual danger. Has Lauren Boebert ever had to endure constant harassment with pieces of shit that just keep driving by, it runs over your dogs, they keep constant harassing, slow crawl, drive-bys, the shooting of guns just over the hill? And there's one man in Conejos County got ran over by four-wheelers. Does she have to endure this shit, and then the cops are inept and they don't give a damn? Has Lauren Boebert ever had to deal with that shit? She's a pretty white woman in America. What kind of struggle does she, ever have? What kind of struggle? So all she has to do is just sort of moan, he's annoying me. And then, bam, cops would be at her door, ready to maybe get a little peace. But, hey, I'll here fight for your honor and dignity. What this man was doing what to you, I'm here to save you. As if, she had any honor and dignity to begin with. So they're ready, they want to have sex, right? So, oh, man, here's, cops have never represented me, but I think sometimes they will represent Women and other people, but women because, you know, they might get sex out of the deal. So, yeah, that's a problem. Dumbass, horny men, right? That's a problem with cops. They'll protect women that, you know, they might think that they could get a kiss from, you know, not because they care about them, right, but because they might get some ass. But the men, well, shit, if you're not in their gang, if you're not the rich or the powerful, then you're a poor boy, peasant, nobody. In fact, you better not even look at me, boy. Don't even give me direct eye contact, boy. You're lying. I don't believe anything you're saying, boy. Oh, and by the way, you know, you didn't wear a seatbelt. Here's a $200 ticket. Okay, so the machine will fuck you over, but the machine never protects you. There's no sense of justice. There's no sense of justice whatsoever here. This is just some shit I've had to endure. If you think Lauren Boebert has had to endure real problems, you know, violent, fascist, psychotic, criminal white men, you think Lauren Boebert has had to deal with that shit? Yeah, maybe, but then she's got, you know, violent, fascist, psychotic, criminal white men that'll protect her. So you know, maybe just plain, I don't know. But Lauren Boebert, I don't believe if, you know, the people were shooting by Lauren Boebert's house, if people were running over her dogs, if they were doing constant harassing, slow crawl drive-bys by her house, somebody would give a shit. Somebody would say something. Somebody would say that it's wrong. And you know, has Lauren Boebert ever had, you know, that guy got ran over by four-wheelers. What was that about? There's a guy that they found up in, you know, on the roof of Romeo. So Miss Florida White Trash, you know, isn't the one who solves the problem. She's the one that creates the problems. Everybody has to, so, you know, anyways. The information age is dying of a culture of ignorance. Right now, but, you know, there's cops that won't give a shit. They won't come out to, you know, Castilla County to patrol this area. They won't go get the bad guys. They're lazy. They're cowards. They don't understand the law, the Constitution, or justice. There's no presence of justice here in Castilla County. So Lauren Boebert doesn't understand the struggle. She doesn't understand the struggle of working-class people. She's directly against everything that I believe. She ran as a right-wing extremist. Lauren Boebert is a right-wing extremist. So when it comes to freedom, social programs, they help America. The public school system. She's against the Department of Education. So whereas I think that we need democracy in our colleges, we need, you know, our scientists and our doctors, and we need smart people. So Sweden, Finland, Germany, Canada, these are the happiest countries in the world. They have social programs. They also have high participation rate for democracy. They got socialism like a motherfucker. Healthcare, education, childcare, all that shit's taken care of in Sweden, Finland, Germany, Canada. They love it. In fact, Germany, they do better capitalism and socialism. We're not a pure, I mean, I don't hear the people talking about how capitalist we are. So by having universal health care, by having universal education, by having universal child care, that increases my freedom. Recently, Colorado just voted for a Family Medical Leave Act. We finally got it. We did it, Colorado. My, you know, little pothead state is all grown up now. We're taking care of our children here in Colorado. That's going to increase my freedom. When I have a child, then I can bond with that child for the first 3 months without having to worry about me losing my job or me losing my income. So, you know, not having to spend 50% of my income on child care, education, and health care, that's a good thing. You know, it's ridiculous that people in America have to go bankrupt just because they wanted to, you know, go to the hospital to take care of something, to go get an education. They went to college. They wanted to read. What the fuck? You're going to go bankrupt because you went sick? You're going to go bankrupt because you want... A nation should care about the health and welfare of its people. They should care about the mind, body, and soul of its people. The education is the mind, the health care is the body, and the soul is the soul. So I'm mad that Lauren Boebert won, okay? So, you know, Lauren Boebert's a terrible person. She's a terrible human being. So is Diane Boebert. I'm mad that Diane Boebert ran a shitty campaign. She ran to the right, and she had nothing but absolute contempt for her base, for her people, for the progressives. Donald, you know, talks to his base and gets his people to go out and vote, but like a stuck-up asshole professor, Diane Bush, thought she's the only smart person in the room. It was her IQ higher than everybody. Everybody's got to obey her. She's the sage on the stage. She's the wisest of them all, and everybody has to shut up and get in line and just listen to her. That's a fascist. A lot of professors are fascists. People talk about how college is liberal. Colleges are conservative. They treat you like a kindergartner. Shut up, sit down. You're not allowed to talk in college. You can't say nothing in college. So Diane Bush, you know, she was not inspiring. She put out a lot of mailers, lots of beggings for, you know, millions of dollars, no telling how many homeless houses. You know, how many houses could Diane Bush have built for the homeless with millions of dollars that she wasted on this campaign? Wasted. So for the Democrats, Colorado Democrats, we need to agree that we will never let a Diane Bush or any kind of neoliberal, old-ass, mean-ass, neoliberal Democrat who just bullies everybody, who doesn't inspire anybody, who just wants to, you know, fuck a snobby, bully fascist, a mean-ass, snobby, bully fascist. We cannot allow snobby, bully, fascist candidates to run in the Democratic ticket anymore. It's not inspiring. They're not getting the base out. So Diane Bush, you know, ran a terrible campaign. She was the lesser of the evil, though. So there is, you know, we're going to have to, you know, retool. But let's talk about who is, you know, Lauren Boebert. So Lauren Boebert is, you know, she just loves Donald Trump so much. So, you know, I guess to her, there's, you know, good people on both sides. There's Nazis are good, KKK is good, right? Whereas she's actually bubbled that she's multiracial on official government forums. So now the right wing has a Pocahontas. Oh yeah, I miss Pocahontas right here. She does have a, you know, a tint of brown, but she's, you know, pretty white girl, right? Pretty white girl. I'm sure it's been real tough for her, right? Oh yeah, we need to help this pretty white girl. I'm sure she hasn't got all the opportunities that everybody else. Bullshit. She's the one that got all the opportunities. So Miss Pocahontas, there's a right-wing Pocahontas now, right? So when it comes to what she represents, right, so let's just pick an issue, right, healthcare. She's against the social spending. She's talking about freedom. She's saying that if there's government programs that help you out, that somehow goes against your freedom. What it goes against is, you know, rich people don't have to, you know, they don't get all their money, but I don't mind paying my fair share of taxes as long as I'm getting something for it. So right now, Colorado has legalized marijuana. They're doing great with that. The legalization of marijuana is a success. And now we're going to get some family medical leave. So, you know, as long as we keep doing shit like that, family medical leave, legalizing marijuana, as long as we keep, I will, you know, happily pay my taxes. I don't mind paying my fair share of taxes as long as the government is helping me. So the Lauren Boebert, she made a black person likes hot sauce jokes, so she's very, you know, Hillary Clinton-esque, right? White women can just say all the racist shit that they want, pretend that they're black, and nobody's going to say shit, right? She's going to pretend she's multiracial. I would like to know what multi-races is she, and how does she know that? Did she take a DNA test? So Miss Food Poisoning Pork Slider, Lauren Boebert, she don't, you know, her restaurant, she give food poisoning to a whole bunch of people. So Miss Pork Slider, here's a, you know, serving of food poisoned pork slider. The only thing I trust about Lauren Boebert is that she'll protect the Second Amendment. She'll protect the Second Amendment. I know that. And I agree with that. Progressives need guns too. But Lauren Boebert's not a progressive. She's a proud regressive. She loves that she's going backwards, right? We're not going back to the 1950s. We're going back to the, you know, the Spanish conquistador days. She's a regressive. She's a proud regressive Floridian white trash. That should explain everything about Lauren Boebert. You know all the crazy shit that comes up out of Florida? We got a crazy, you know, candidate, a carpetbagger out of Florida who's a total regressive. She wants to get rid of the Department of Education, whereas I think that college should have democracy. I'm not against higher education. I want people to be able to go to college. Like I said, we need our doctors, right? We need our doctors, and we need our engineers. We need the, you know, people that know how to do shit. So get rid of the Department of Education. The Department of Education has been around since 1979, and we're going to get rid of it. This is, you know, how many people in the 3rd Congressional District now won't get, you know, they won't be able to go to college because she's trying to get rid of it. So Diane, you know, Bush, the problem with Diane Bush, it wasn't that she's a liberal progressive, it's that she's a right-wing fascist oppressor. She's a right-wing fascist oppressor. She's a right-winger. She's a neoliberal. And professors are oppressors. There's no democracy in college. She doesn't understand how to work with other people. Friends, don't let friends vote for Lauren Boebert. And friends, don't let friends vote for Diane Bush. We had two horrible candidates. Diane Bush was the lesser of the two evils, but we got the greater evil. So Lauren Boebert, she's, you know, she hates Antifa, so that's stupid. That has got to be the dumbest thing about, you know, Donald Trump, his hatred of the anti-fascist. You know, if you hate the anti-fascist, then you're a fascist. What side would you have been on, Lauren Boebert, in World War II? The U.S. troops? Would you have been on the side that was fighting against fascism, or would you have been a Nazi piece of shit? Which side would you have been on the side of the United States of America or on the side of 1930s Hitler fucking Germany? I need to know this because you're saying anti-fascist like it's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. The anti-fascists are the good people. You know, what is a fascist? You want to talk about freedom? A fascist is the boot on the face of humanity. It's 1984. So you're going to sit there and criticize Antifa. They said that Diane Bush was friends with a person that was with Antifa. Antifa is fantastic, but Diane Bush, she just has no backbone, no spine. She doesn't stand up for what she believes in and just takes her licks. Instead, I don't know what the hell she stands for. She didn't, all that money, all that, you know, easy exposure, everybody would have talked to her. They didn't even debate. So she's, you know, she's part of the culture of ignorance. Lauren Boebert is. And Diane Bush didn't help, but Lauren Boebert is worse. She's anti-vaxxer, anti-intelligence, she's pro-ignorance, right? She said she's pro-freedom. Not pro-freedom. She's a fascist. She hates Antifa. And then, you know, sits there and uses, you know, affirmative action for her benefit when, you know, she's a pretty white woman. So it's just, you know, when it comes to her policies, she's going to be rank and file, you know, Republican and then some. She's a right-wing extremist. If anything, MSNBC should prop Lauren Boebert up as, you know, this is what the new right looks like. You know how they did the AOC? You know how they propped up AOC and basically she had to take all the fucking shit in the world? This is who Lauren Boebert is. Lauren Boebert is the AOC for the right. She's Candace Owens in whiteface. She is, you know, Clint Eastwood times 20. She's as pissed off as an old man, an old right-wing man. And she's only 20, 30-something years old. So I just wanted, she won, but she doesn't represent me. She represents everything that I'm against. So, you know, Colorado's 3rd Congressional District isn't just a bunch of right-wing extremists. So I'm not for sure how this is going to turn out, and I'm not happy about this at all. It's Scott Tipton, so it's a red district. You know, it's been a red district for quite some time, but yeah, this Lauren Boebert, I would rather go get some yogurt, right? Lauren Boebert, no, I'd rather go get some, anyways. Yeah, so Lauren Boebert. Oh, God. So before Scott Tipton, I didn't have much representation. Now I have even less representation. Scott Tipton was all the way on that end, so if I wanted to talk to him, I'd have to drive 3 or 4 hours, and now I got a right-wing, you know, extremist that I got to deal with, who won't listen at all, whereas Scott Tipton might have listened. Lauren Boebert ain't going to listen to. Diane Bush wasn't going to listen to any fucking thing I had, so, I mean, shit. Maybe that's what politics is. You pretend that you're a good, compassionate, you know, person, but it's all about you, right? You're the smartest one in the room, and everybody else is just Lauren fucking Boebert. I'm gonna do a little shorter one on this, but that's the big sort of, that's the big picture. All right.